Hello and welcome to Always a Friday.
And today we're going to be reviewing our time spent in Taipei. We'd love to have spent more time in Taiwan, but unfortunately we didn't, so we'll just be reviewing Taipei as a city instead of a full country view of Taiwan. So let's get underway.
So let's start off with our peak and our pit of Taipei. So,
our favourite game to play.
Yeah, what was your peak?
So my peak was definitely watching the sunset over Taipei 101, which is just such an amazing building, such an amazing skyscraper. And Elephant Mountain was such a cool vantage point to see it from. So what was your peak, honey?
My peak would have to be the Beitou hot springs. We went there for the day and we actually went to a private hot springs in a hotel. It was so relaxing and I just loved it. Really loved it.
You love a hot spring.
I do. Definitely recommend that if you're going to head over to Taipei.
And what was your pit?
My pit? Probably, I don't really have one. My only pit would be that we didn't stay there long enough. I would have liked to have spent more time there, like really explored Taiwan as well as Taipei. So that's my only pit.
That's a pretty good pit.
Yeah.
My pit would, again, the same as you really. I don't really have one for Taipei. I suppose if I really had to pick, the worst time is probably, funnily enough, climbing up Elephant Mountain to view the sunset over Taipei 101, because that was a steep climb. And it said it took 20 minutes, but 20 to 30 minutes when you're walking uphill is actually quite a long time. So it's probably my pit, but it was rewarded.
We were rushing as well because we
were trying to get
didn't want to miss the sunset, so we were trying to go as fast as we could.
So that was our peak and pit. And we'll move on to just other awesome stuff we did in Taipei. I know one of the first things we did there was we went to Longhsan Temple, which was amazing.
Yeah, it really was, and it was one of the first temples that we've ever been to where all the locals were involved and interacting with everything that was going on, and it was just a really interesting thing to be able to stand there and witness.
Yeah.
And be part of.
Yeah.
So we really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was an awesome temple and right in the middle of Taipei as well.
Yeah.
I know another thing that I really enjoyed was the Chiang Kaishek Memorial, which was just massive, and the area itself with the gate, and I think there's like the big square in the middle, and then you've got the two buildings either side. It was just amazing. It had really such a great atmosphere, and walking up to the Chiang Kaishek Memorial itself, the hall, I just remember being in awe.
The changing of the guards.
That was another really awesome thing. So I'm not entirely sure what time it is, we just got lucky, but I think it probably happens relatively often throughout the day. Changing the guards was awesome at Chiang Kaishek Memorial, and definitely a place you have to go if you're in Taipei.
So another thing that we would recommend doing that I've already mentioned is the Beitou hot springs. It's just the perfect way to get away from that hustle and bustle of city life, and it's so easy to get to from Taipei as well, really easy, and there's no excuse not to go really.
Yeah, if you're in Taipei for any longer than a few days, definitely get there, and the hot springs is awesome, and it's just like a really cool place. Yeah, really recommend it. Now next would be the Ximending, I hope I'm saying that right, which is a really cool place full of shops. Yeah, just awesome to walk around. We spent a little bit of time there, got some street food, went in some cool kind of artsy shops and some of the bigger shops as well, and I just loved walking around. It was a really cool hustle and bustle of Taipei. I really enjoyed it. So moving on, we're going to share with you some tips about Taipei.
So one tip would have to be accommodation. Staying in Taipei was a lot more expensive than what we experienced before when we were travelling around Southeast Asia. So what we did is we stayed in an Airbnb, we had our own apartment, and it was really great value for money. And in fact we even have the link in our description if you want to click on that and get a discount as well, save even more money.
Yeah, definitely Airbnb, we used it, can't recommend it enough in Taipei. Now another little tip is, since Uber has been suspended in Taiwan, the best way to get around now is definitely using the trains and the MRT system they have out there. It's really cheap and really easy to get around. You can get around from one part of it to the other, super cheap.
Definitely, and just one more tip before we go is that if you do go to the Beitou Springs, there are certain rules when it comes to bathing suits, swimsuits, and they are very expensive if you buy them whilst you're there, so make sure you check that out before you go.
Yeah, definitely. The public baths out there, I think they want like a kind of Speedo for a guy and a really super conservative kind of swimsuit if you're a woman. So make sure you have that. If you haven't, or you don't want to go or buy some, then we recommend going to the private hot springs, which most hotels out there will have their own hot spring. That's what we did because we didn't have the right swimwear. We just kind of had bikinis and long shorts, stuff like that. So we definitely recommend either picking some up before you go or going to a private bath, which was actually really cool, turned out really well for us. So there we have it, that's pretty much it, our review of Taipei.
Yeah, we've really fell in love with this city and we've loved every moment that we've spent exploring it.
Yeah, I can definitely second that. It's a place that I didn't really know too much about before we came here, but just fell in love with the place. Really excited to come back at some point, maybe explore more of Taiwan. But yeah, can't recommend this place enough. We love Taipei, love Taipei City, hot springs as well. But we'll leave it there for now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've been to Taipei and you think we've missed anything, or you haven't been to Taipei and really want to go, give us a comment below. We love hearing from you. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to our channel. And that's pretty much it. We'll leave it there, and we'll see you next week when we will be in
Japan.